It is hot as the bottom of Satan's ass crack right now, bruh. Okay? I'm gonna be so real. Half the reason I made this video was to complain about how inhumanely hot it is. I took a shower earlier, took 2 steps out, I was sweating. I had the audacity to try to go hoop yesterday. I don't even know why I did that, bruh. I made it to the end of the block before I turned the fuck around and said, fuck that shit. Yo, my ass itch, bruh. And I don't even know if it's because it's that hot or if it's because I'm aggravated that it's that hot. I seen somebody walking with a full Nike Tech on this morning. I almost snatched it off his body. That shit pissed me off. It is 92 fucking degrees. God, stop it. What was I supposed to be talking about again? Oh yeah, the World Cup. Okay, on to the actual video. Let's get through this shit, y'all. Just the motion of opening and closing my mouth to speak is making me sweat. This video was actually barely about weather, but since we're on the topic, I might as well start with that. I was looking at articles last week about temperature in Europe, and apparently it doesn't get that hot in Europe at all in a lot of places. England, for example, is usually around 75 degrees Fahrenheit or so in the dead of summer, which I think is like around 23 or 24 degrees Celsius. There's other places with similar levels of tame weather. The Netherlands, I think, Belgium, Denmark, Ireland, I think Ukraine, and like most of Germany. I saw this news report about how like the UK was suffering because they don't have ACs over there, or they don't have a lot of ACs over there or something like that. And there was a heat wave, and then they were like, oh, it's 80 degrees. And I was like, oh. Because a lot of these people in the European countries are going to be traveling to the U.S. to watch the World Cup. And if they're not used to the weather, it's going to get nasty. AT&T Stadium, where there's going to be 9 matches in one of the semifinal matches in Dallas, where they eat 100-degree gelatos for breakfast, 7 matches at NRG Stadium in Houston, where they swallow 100-degree afternoons for lunch. Bruh, the residents of the state itself can't even handle that shit sometimes. It's going to be disgustingly hot. The South Americans are going to be perfectly fine. Best believe that. Some of the Europeans won't be. Some, like the Spanish, will be, though. It gets hot as fucking Spain. At the end of the day, though, I doubt that heat will be the biggest problem. Just one of the big inconveniences for anybody not used to the weather. The other issues are going to be a bit more bothersome. Now, as an American football fan, especially one who resides in New York, when I first heard that MetLife Stadium was going to have the World Cup final, I was like, no. Y'all about to have the biggest, most expensive athletes on the planet playing on the ACL snatcher, the Achilles bandit, if you will. For those of you who don't know, MetLife is a lower body graveyard. Fans have been begging the owners to change the field for a while, but they won't because 1, the owners are greedy and turf is much cheaper, and 2, it actually is ridiculously hard to maintain, to be fair, especially with how rough American football is on natural grass. For the Copa America that's going on right now, American football stadiums kind of put a layer of grass over the artificial grass to create the playing field. Unfortunately, as most of you have probably heard by now, everybody hates that shit. Even after the opening game win, Argentina was still pissed about the pitch. Scaloni complained, Romero complained, Martinez complained. The ball doesn't travel well. Sometimes it jumps around unnaturally, and it's overall just ugly, as Romero said. Will it be different at the World Cup? Allegedly. They've been planning and figuring out how to grow grass properly indoors and in places where there isn't a lot of natural sunlight so that the pitches can be perfect by 2026. But there's no guarantee it'll turn out well, especially since they're technically still going to be playing on hybrid fields that are going to be at least somewhat artificial. I've seen enough turf incidents at MetLife to be cautious. Nothing is ever going to be worse than how hyped I was for Aaron Rodgers on the Jets last year just for his Achilles to get sniped literally 15 seconds into the season because his cleats got stuck in the turf. MetLife taking a world-class player's soul during a World Cup final would be the biggest addition to his collection. I'd rather not see that happen. Aside from the shitty grass, there's the fact that there's going to be 11 games played at AT&T Stadium, and there's no fucking public transportation to that shit. Like, at all. Whatever you could think of, a train, a bus, shit, a ferry? Nope, just space. Literally nothing but space. Space to park your car, that's it. The only thing there might be is, I think, a shuttle bus specifically for games, which they'll definitely have to get to the stadium. But that means if you miss it, you're assed out. Better call that Uber. They'll definitely put something special together for the World Cup, hopefully. That's barely going to make it any less confusing for a lot of people, though, to be honest. The most odd part about it is definitely going to be the fact that it's taking place in 3 countries, though. And not just any couple countries right next to each other. The 2002 World Cup was hosted by both Japan and Korea. It's been done before. But America, Canada, and Mexico are massive. The traveling is going to be way more insane than it's ever been in the history of the competition. I feel like the worst part about it is going to be the lack of vibes, too. America isn't exactly the most welcoming country these days, and with how spread out everything is, it's going to be so, scattered, feel me? I don't know. I feel like it's best when it's in one concentrated area. I can understand it because it's 48 countries now, but damn, 3 host countries of that size? Sheesh, bruh. America has hosted a World Cup before back in '94, and it had the highest attendance in the history of the tournament. So it's not like FIFA has to worry about people showing up. I promise. People are still going to show up. Just look at what the streets of ATL turned into for an Argentina Copa America group stage game against fucking Canada. A matchup like Argentina versus England at the World Cup might bring buildings down. There is a lot of upside to a tournament taking place in North America. The US already has so many people from all over the world living here that it makes it easier to create an atmosphere even if not too many foreigners travel, which they will regardless. The only counter to that is what I said before with how spread out everything is, which is one of the big downsides. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, that's for damn sure. I'm already personally saving up for tickets to the final. There's no way that shit finna go down in my backyard and I'm not attending. Are you out of your mind? I don't know. How do y'all feel about the whole 3-country World Cup thing? Because they're taking it to a whole nother level in 2030 with the 3 continent shit. And that is actually ridiculous, no matter what angle you look at it from. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see y'all next time.